Hi everyone, so Miss Alon wasn't here today, and Miss Sholey, I'm going to be going through the lesson with you. So last night we had to watch a video on the 5 different ways to prove that triangles are congruent. That's what we're going to do right now. Let's take a look at our first question. We should notice here that we have 3 sides in this triangle that are congruent. I'm color coding them for us right here. So when we have 3 sides that are congruent, the triangle congruency is called side, side, side. Next question, we have a pair of sides that are congruent, also color coding again. Then we have another pair of sides that are congruent, and notice how here the angles between these 2 sides are congruent. So this is called side, angle, side. The angle between them has to be congruent. That's really important, that angle between them should be congruent. On the next question, we have our pair of angles, we have another pair of angles, and then we have a pair of sides that are congruent. And if you go around counterclockwise, this is angle, angle, side is our answer here. Angle, angle, side. The next one says we have 2 pair of angles that are congruent, another pair of angles that are congruent, and a side between them. So that is going to be side, angle, side. And just like angle, side, angle up here, sorry, this should be angle, side. Angle, sorry. So that's angle, side, angle. Just like side, angle, side up here, the side that is between the 2 angles, those sides have to be congruent. So make sure that side is between our 2 angles. Over here in our last question, we should notice that we have a right angle here, so we have 90 degrees. We have 2 hypotenuse that are congruent, so a pair of hypotenuse that are congruent. And then we also have a pair of legs that are congruent. And when we have all 3 of these things, you have to have all 3. We can prove that these triangles are congruent by hypotenuse leg. Okay, so let's take a look at the work that we should have been looking at in class today. So we have to determine if these triangles are congruent and using side, 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 angle, side, angle, angle, side, and hypotenuse leg. So the first one here, we may think that this is angle, side, angle, because we do have a side between 2 angles. But if you color code this, you should notice that this top triangle looks like angle, side, angle, so that's ASA. And then over here in this bottom triangle, this looks like angle, angle, side. And angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side are not congruent. So this first one is going to be not enough information. Over here in number 2, we should notice that we have the reflexive property right here, that this side between these 2 angles that they're sharing. And we should notice that we have 3 sides that are congruent here now. So this is side, side, side. In number 3, we should notice that we have 2 angles that are vertical. So these vertical angles are congruent. And now if you look at these 2 triangles, we have a side between 2 angles that are congruent. So we have angle, side, angle. So that is our answer for number 3. Number 4 says we have a very similar thing to number 2, where we have these triangles sharing a side. And so right here, you should notice that we have a pair of sides that are congruent. An angle, I made that a little too big, an angle right here, and then another pair of sides are congruent. So the angle between those 2 sides are congruent. So we have side, angle, side here. Number 5, you should notice again is side, side, side. We have 3 pairs of sides that are congruent. Number 6, we should notice that we have 90 degrees. So we have right angles. We have hypotenuse that are congruent. Our hypotenuse is always across from our right angle, so our hypotenuse are both congruent to each other. We have 90 degrees in both of our triangles, that little box. And then we have a pair of legs that are congruent. So sides other than our hypotenuse. And when we have all 3 of these, that means that we can prove triangles are congruent by hypotenuse leg. If we go down here on number 7, 8, and 9, we should notice that in 7, we have 2 angles, 2 pairs of angles that are congruent, and then a side between those angles that are congruent. So that's angle, side, angle. In number 8, we should notice that we have angles between sides that are congruent. So we should notice that that is side, angle, side. And over here on number 9, we have vertical angles. So we should notice that we have angle, angle, side here. Angle, angle, side is our answer for number 9. Let's take a look at number 10. That's not going to work. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so number 10, we have 90 degrees. So we have 90-degree angles, we have right angles. We have hypotenuse that are congruent. Those are across from our right angle. And then we have a pair of legs that are congruent. And you guessed it. When we have all 3 of these things, 90 degrees, hypotenuse that are congruent, and legs that are congruent, that's hypotenuse leg. Number 11, we should notice that we have angles between 2 sides that are congruent. That's side, angle, side. Over here on number 12, all they tell us is this angle is congruent to this angle, and this angle is congruent to this angle. They don't tell us anything else. So that's really just angle, angle. And that is not a way to prove that, that triangles are congruent, so our answer here is not enough information. Number 13, let me move down. Number 13, we should see a side, side, side. We have 3 sides that are congruent. Over here on number 14, we should notice we have the reflexive property again, because those triangles are sharing that side. So we should have angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side in one triangle, and angle, angle, side in the other triangle. So that's E. Over here in number 15, we also have the reflexive property again. And we have right angles, so let's see. We don't always have hypotenuse like when we have right angles, but let's see if we do. So we have 90 degrees that are congruent. The hypotenuse are congruent, right? Because look, they have the same hypotenuse. Across from our right angle is the same side. And then I have legs that are congruent, because they tell us that these 2 sides are congruent. So if I have 90 degrees that are congruent, hypotenuse that are congruent, and I have legs that are congruent, it's going to be hypotenuse leg. Number 16, you should notice we have sides between 2 pairs of angles that are congruent. So that means we have angle, side, angle. So that's side between those 2 angles. Then here, number 17, this is not enough information, because this is side, side, angle, side, side, angle. That is not a way to prove that triangles are congruent. That is not one of our categories. Number 18, we should notice that we have the reflexive property again, right? XZ is congruent to XZ. It's in both triangles. So you should notice that number 18 is side, side, side. Let's look at 19, 20, and 21. 19, we have angle, angle, side in both triangles. So you should notice that angle, angle, side, two pairs of angles and a pair of sides are congruent. In number 20, you should notice that we have vertical angles here. So vertical angles are always congruent. And we have a pair of vertical angles that are congruent, a pair of sides that are congruent, and then another pair of angles that are congruent. Notice how the side is between those two congruent angles. So we're going to have angle, side, angle here. And then our last one says, for 21, they give us two intersecting lines. So we have vertical angles that are congruent there. And when we go around and we look at these two triangles, we have angle, side, side, or side, side, angle. And that's not a way to prove that triangles are congruent. So our answer is going to be not enough information. Angle, side, side, or side, side, angle, either one. Let's take a look at our riddle, what we should have gotten as our answer. Our answer here, the question was, what has 3 matching angles and sides, 2 matching dresses and shoes, and 1 trophy? And our answer here is 2 congruent triangles wearing the same outfit after winning first place in the math competition. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.